Hi and welcome to a brand new episode of the Indulge podcast with me, Roman Laishram. Today we're with someone super interesting. I'm at the Consulate-General of Japan in Chennai, and with me is the Consul-General of Japan in Chennai, Mr. Taga Masayuki. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and welcome
thank you
to the
very
show.
much for coming. Thank you very much for your interest, and I'm very happy to.
We're going to be talking about Japan and India and the wonderful cultural relationships that we share, and also expand the conversation into lots more. So let's start with the conversation immediately. The first question that I'd like to ask you, sir, the ties between Japan and India are getting even stronger these days, especially culturally. Where do you see the role of your institution in this exchange of ideas?
Yeah. So as you said that Indo-Japan relation today enjoy the most strong relation in our history. So government to government relation is very good. Economic relation is expanding. And so you mentioned about the cultural aspect. So cultural aspects, we would like to see more people-to-people exchanges and relations. And from that point of view, cultural exchanges or cultural event to understand each other is very important. Actually, to government, of course, we enjoy excellent relations as a special strategic and global partner. And so a lot of so government-funded projects, and there are a lot of dialogue between the government. But actually, embassy is doing for mainly to government things. But Consul-General office, basically, we are supporting Japanese nationals living in our area, or to promote Japanese company here. Actually, to support smooth activity of Japanese company, or try to invite or to bring more Japanese company or investment to our jurisdiction. But not only just for this Japanese national or Japanese company thing, but we would like to promote friendship between the people. From that point of view, cultural event or cultural exchanges program is very important.
True. So today, as of now in 2022, what's the number of Japanese roughly who are living in a city like Chennai?
Yes, in Tamil Nadu or my jurisdiction, around 800 Japanese are living, yes.
And are there numbers of the amount of Indians who are living in Japan today?
In Japan, actually, after COVID, exact number is, but before COVID, I understand there are around 30,000 Indians. Wow. Actually, in India, Japanese, I said my jurisdiction is 800, but in India, before COVID, maybe around 10,000.
Wow, that's
Japanese
a huge number.
In India, yeah.
Amazing. So, growing up in Japan, how exposed were you to India, our culture, our language, our people? How open was a common Japanese person when it came to understanding what India was like?
Yes. Still, India, although actually historically we have very old historical relation. When that Buddhism came to Japan, and the Indian monk went to Japan in the 8th century and opened a big Buddha in Nara. So, but frankly speaking, still most of Japanese people, India's image is not just Indian cuisine. They know very well the curry, the chicken kebab.
True.
And nowadays, South Indian dishes also become popular, like meals or dosas. Okay.
How nice. Okay.
And of course, some important cultural, historical heritage like Taj Mahal and those things are. But frankly speaking, the original people's life and what is going on, not much information is available in Japan. Japanese newspaper reports not much on Indian thing. Only something accident happens then. So the other side, I understand in India also Japan's information is only still limited. Actually,
true.
People in India knows Japanese goods, Japanese car, Japanese TV, but about today's Japan, okay, or Japanese culture. So I believe it's very important for us to increase or to do our effort to let people of here to understand, know about Japan, and Japanese people to know about India.
I'm so happy you spoke about that, because my next question is exactly about that. Most people think the relationship between Japan and India is largely about commerce and industry. But from the answers that you're giving me, clearly there is also a cultural relationship there. People are talking about our food. I know some Japanese people are interested in Indian films. Indian people are obsessed with Japanese anime films and things like that. So there is a huge cultural exchange.
Right.
So do you think this relationship goes beyond just industry and commerce?
Of course. Actually, I have to say, still we have a lot of scope to expand more business and economic relation. We have to do it, but with that, we need to do much more, strengthen our people-to-people exchanges or relations. So from that point of view, those cultural elements is very important. For example, film. Actually, today also in Japan, there's Tamil movie show screen. Yeah,
we've heard about it.
So, and very recently, that Japanese director made one film. Okay, topic was Tagore songs made, and that screens in Kolkata day before yesterday. So these things will promote better understanding between two peoples.
Nice. We've often heard that Japan has a huge fan following of Rajinikanth, our own
Of course, Rajinikanth, Kamal Hassan, and recent movies, Rajiv Menon's, that this Muridangam.
Yeah. Sarvam Talamai.
That's right, yes.
Nice. Have you watched a Rajinikanth movie?
Yes. Interesting.
Amazing. Okay, with an increasing number of students who are learning Japanese in India, and we know the numbers are increasing every year, and a lot of them are doing it for commerce, for industry, to get jobs in Japanese industries, companies, also as translators. Do you see a similar sort of interest in Japan for Indian languages, say for Tamil, Hindi, whatever?
Yeah. I think one thing that in Japan people think or regard in India, English very well understood. Okay, and so that's why not identical to those people here to go to Japan to study Japanese, because in case of Japan, Japanese language is very, and in case of India, the of course that Hindi is there, Tamil there, so it's different in the area wide. So not so strong or many numbers, but there are some people who really seriously studying the languages of not only Hindi, but Bengali and Tamil and Malayalam even. And so there are people.
So it is increasing.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, as I said, when we talk about Japanese culture, most people in India know about contemporary Japanese culture, be it, J-pop music or be it anime or the films that are coming out of Japan. But is there one thing about Japanese culture that you wish Indians would know more about? Something that you think we should be interested in?
Yeah. Actually, this is the most difficult question for me. And to choose one.
Okay, you can choose many, no problem.
Actually, the reason is that for example, when I try to explain our culture, Japanese culture, actually the traditional or traditional and modern, we cannot divide. For example, music. Okay, we have very traditional music, or in case of Japanese traditional dance, we have, and modern of a pop culture, that the pop music or modern dance, but I think to understand Japanese culture, to understand that to see the both element is very important. So that even the technology, also technology, people like Japanese high technology today, but that high technology, you will understand that in the deep, our traditional technology, which is not using a computer, but our manufacturing skills and those kind of things related to our history. So I'd like to people here to understand both from traditional side to modern side, both.
So
not
as
one.
as a consul general, what would you like to do to kind of educate us about that? Do you think getting books or
Yeah.
films or
Yeah. So one thing that very recently, 2 weeks ago, we hold Japan Expo. In that, we try to present a comprehensive way or some integrated way about Japanese culture, different aspects of Japanese culture, traditional to modern, or so combining that to exhibition and performances. So some are very traditional, some are modern, and of course, film is very nice. Before film lover, so this Kurosawa's,
okay.
but today the young boys and girls very very eager to see that animation TV, that Kimetsu no Yaiba,
Yeah.
like that. So it's but yes, it depends on the people. Someone like this one, it's okay, but if combined, different aspects to be promoted.
So would you like to be doing more festivals in
Of
Chennai?
course, this year, I'm sorry, so many people came, and some people couldn't enter the premises. So next year, I'd like to have a bigger place so that more people can join.
Lovely, lovely. This is Roma Laishram on the Indulge podcast, and I've got with me the Consul-General of Japan in Chennai, Mr. Taga Masayuki. And we're having a conversation about Japanese culture in India. My next question to you, sir, is what about India excites you the most, personally?
In one word, this one I tell you one
Okay.
word: diversity.
Lovely.
Diversity. Because so interesting, I'm associated with India for last 38 years. And I spent many years in India. I served twice in New Delhi and served, before here I was in Kolkata. And I visited so many places. Every place is so interesting and a different, so culture and custom and of course, and so it's very, very wonderful experience for me to visit each different places.
Nice. That leads me to my next question. How far have you traveled across India? Have you traveled across India extensively? And from what you've traveled, do you think there is one place that any Japanese tourist who comes to India should visit?
This is again
Okay,
difficult
two
question.
places.
Okay, no, I visit so many places, and most of the places I was impressed.
Okay.
Some places very, very much impressed. But in India, even, not even, just you count that UNESCO World Heritage Site. You have 40, okay? Can you choose one?
I can't, which is why I'm asking you.
Yeah? I cannot choose because Taj Mahal is okay, or Ajanta Ellora is okay, or Mahabalipuram is okay, or Kaziranga, or Nilgiri. So I cannot choose one. But only thing, Japanese people usually stay little short visit. Yeah, most of Japanese visit. So it's a limitation. If they can stay 1 month, 2 months, okay, they can see a lot of things. But from that point of view, that connectivity or accessibility to the place is very important. In that context, that little far place is not easy. So that's why Taj Mahal, always people go. New Delhi, Taj
Very
Mahal.
easy, yeah.
And in
Fast
case
train,
of that Chennai, Mahabalipuram, Kanchipuram. Yeah. So this is a convenience. But there are much better, not better, but nice place, as nice as those places. But since this is a connectivity or take time to reach there, so that's why maybe
Got it.
not everyone can visit. But the second visit or third visit, they will go such place.
So out of all your travels, I won't tell you to choose any one that you like the most, but something that surprised you, some place that you were wowed
Oh,
by.
I was very, very astonished by the Kailasanath temple in Ellora.
Oh, wow.
That was because some temple you put from here to bottom to top, okay? If you something wrong, you can change it. But kairasanata, you just
Into
so
a
if
rock,
once
yeah.
you make, then you cannot repair. And that's such a huge. And the person who planned that, designed that, passed away, and the people made according to unbelievable.
Okay. You've been in Chennai now for 2 years, almost 3 years.
2 years and 5 months now. Yeah.
Okay, so almost reaching 3
Okay.
years. When any of your guests visit Chennai,
Mm-hmm.
what is that one thing that you tell them you have to do before you go? Is it food? Is it visiting Mahabalipuram or something like that that you think is a must-do experience in Chennai?
No, it's a combination.
Okay.
It's a combination. Visit some places,
Okay.
as well as enjoy the South Indian cuisine, and also enjoy South Indian music and dancing.
Nice.
For example, if that some program happens in the Kalakshetra or Music Academy, definitely I will bring them to those places. And of course, dinner.
So, what is your favorite South Indian food?
Oh, of course. Even I was in New Delhi. I used to have dosa once a week, at least, in New Delhi.
Nice.
But here, of course, those meals or I take both. I like both non-vegetarian meals or vegetarian meals, but actually I like idiyappam.
Oh, interesting.
Idiyappam is very nice.
And do you like it with
Idiyappam with kurma.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, you answered my next question. Do you have a favorite Indian dish? But why do you like the idiyappam and kurma? Does it remind you of something from back home? Or?
Actually, it's for me mild or kind to actually. For example, it's not too good or bad, but I like all the meal. As I told you, even North Indian that or Mugurai, okay, those butter chicken and those things. But those things is a little heavy for us.
True.
So if I take maybe once a month,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
True.
But in case of Japan, or
light.
like that, maybe I can take repeatedly.
Okay, got it. Now there are a lot of Japanese restaurants in Chennai. It's a cuisine that's becoming increasingly popular. As a Japanese person yourself, as a national, which place would you recommend for someone like me who wants to eat authentic Japanese food?
Yeah, this is also the most difficult question for me because I have to, or I like to promote those Japanese cuisine and Japanese restaurant in India or in Chennai. So I like to recommend all the Japanese restaurants.
Okay.
But so to choose one is very difficult. But there are some nice restaurants such as Nippon, Oyama, or Daria, or Kuraku. Those restaurants are quite good. That very good restaurant are there. Of course, other restaurant also. Yeah, but if I speaking, I have to tell every restaurant.
No
and
problem.
I cannot say this one is the best.
Okay.
But this one is the next.
Since you've done South Indian food and you of course know Japanese food really well, as a person who's never tasted Japanese food, the first dish, what should I try? What do you think is the best way to introduce someone to Japan?
It depends on person to person. For the vegetarian, for non-vegetarian, different recommendation. And for those who are in that inland, those who are not familiar with taking the fish, seafood, or those who are living in coastal, so suggestion may differ.
Okay, so for a vegetarian, what would you say?
For vegetarian, actually, if vegetarian goes to Japan, I recommend them to visit Shojin Ryori restaurant. Shojin Ryori is traditional Japanese pure vegetarian dishes, mainly served in the Buddhist temple or nearby Buddhist temple, where you can find the pure vegetarian dishes. But this is not easy. So in Japan, vegetarian, we have tofu. Tofu is very nice. So tofu, using tofu, some vegetable dish is very nice.
And for a non-vegetarian who doesn't
non-vegetarian, eat everything, anything. But if those who actually in India already tempura is very common. Okay. But tempura, you can make vegetable tempura, prawn tempura, and fish. But the tempura also, it depends on the restaurant to restaurant. So some restaurants have very, very good tempura. So if you, in Japan, you can choose best tempura restaurant.
Okay. And when it comes to seafood, what is your recommendation?
One is, in case of tempura, that the prawn tempura is always nice. And fish, we have different kind of preparation. Even we have grilled fish. But of course, in India also, you have different taste.
True.
So like in Japan also, a little bit soya sauce based or soybean paste base, or a little bit little just salt and lemon thing, just grilled. So, and with some Japanese seasoning. So it depends on the choice of you.
Super. This is Roman Laishram on the Indulge podcast, and I'm in conversation with the Consul-General of Japan to Chennai, Mr. Taga Masayuki, and we're talking about Japanese culture and how we share so much in common with Indian culture. My final question for this evening, actually my second last question for this evening, is where do you see this Japan and Indian relationship going in the next few years? What is the next step? I mean, we've done cultural ties, we're building on those. There's commerce ties, we're building on those. But do you see it becoming more? Is there more that you would like to expand in terms of relationship?
Yeah, actually, this is again, I'm repeating the same answer. First, I told that I need to expand people to people. And from that point of view, that I like to promote tourism. I need more Japanese people to visit India and more Indian people to visit to Japan. Actually, before COVID, those who from China to Japan visited 600 to 7 million.
Wow.
From Japan to China, 3 million. Same time, from Japan to India, 2 lakh. And from India to Japan is only 1.6 lakh, like that. So we have to not double or triple. I'd like to see at least 10 times more, more Japanese coming here and more Indian people to visit Japan. And so with that, of course, they have more friends and the business also increase and intellectual exchanges and even university to university, teacher, student, and also science technology. Of course, the science and technology already we have a good relation, but those people to people relation, expansion of people relation definitely strengthen all of our relations.
Super. My last question to you, sir, is now in the year that is to come, we're already in November now, but let's say in 2023, as an Indian, what can I look forward to from the Japan Consul? What are the kind of events you can tell us, give us a sneak peek about? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, we usually organize culture events such as that showing of Japanese films or a kind of separate program like Ikebana demonstration and exhibition or martial art demonstration. But as I mentioned you, this year we are very successful about the Japan Expo. So next year we'd like to have such kind of comprehensive or the event. In this event, various aspects of Japanese culture or Japan can be presented.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure talking to you.
So nice of you. Thank you.
Let's hope this relationship between our two countries just gets better and better as time goes by.
Definitely.
This
Thank
is
you.
Roma Laishram on the Indulge podcast, and I've been in conversation with Mr. Taga Masayuki, the Consul-General of Japan to Chennai. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you very much. So nice of you. Thank you.
This is both of us saying bye-bye.
Hi.